Welcome back to the farm. For this chore chat, we're going to talk about something really important that'll really help you get noticed and recognized for your hard work, and that is displaying and acting with integrity and displaying trust. I learned this earlier on out on the farm and doing a chore called bedding the cattle. So to help me explain that chore, I invited my cousin Brett. So Brett, you want to come on up here?
Sure thing.
Say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Wonderful. So Brett, real quick, do you want to tell us a little bit about bedding the cattle? You know, when Grandpa would get up in the morning and say, hey boys, it's time to do the chores. And girls, it's time to do the chores. And you want to tell them a little bit about that process?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, bedding the cattle, it was, we actually bed the cattle once a day. And it was really just a combination of getting the hay and the straw down and everything. There was multiple barns that we had to take care of and everything. And we had specific instructions from Grandpa.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, on how many bales of straw that we had to put down each hole or in each barn and everything. So the north barn, for example, would get 8 bales. One of us would get 8 bales down. But before we even did that, these things get a little heavy and they're a little big. We had to empty the barns out. So the first thing we would do is we would push all the cattle out of the barns and everything and lock the gate, and then go inside and start throwing the straw down and then kicking it around a little bit.
When it comes to integrity and trust, what about bedding the cattle did you apply to your work and what you do when it helped build your your sense of integrity?
Sure. Well, absolutely. Well, one of the things when it comes to bedding the cattle, it's just like it says, it's building a foundation, okay? So when you're building the foundation, you got to have a good foundation and a good bed to lay in and to, really be able to thrive. So having that foundation is a key. So some of the things that I really took away from it and everything like that is it's a daily routine. It's doing it multiple times over and over and everything to get good at it. And it really puts you right in a good foundation.
And basically, that routine was important because every time Grandpa say, hey, did you bed the cattle? Did you put the right number of straw down and the right number of hay in the manger? And if you said you did it and he went back and checked on you, well, then, you just lost a little bit of respect there. That's why having integrity, saying you're going to do what you're going to do is extremely important. And that's one of the lessons we learned down there. And we always ended it with a handshake, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Hey, you know what? You're only as good as your word, and you didn't have contracts and backing everything up like that. You basically just shook and said, did you do it? And did you do the chores properly? And you shook on it and you said, yeah, we sure did, Grandpa. That's what it means to act with integrity and build trust with one another, because it's essential. Whether you work out here on the farm or you work in an office or you work in a restaurant, if you don't have integrity, if you're not good for your word, Grandma used to say, well, then you're not good for much, are you?
No, I mean, Grandpa really emphasized that. He goes, the man is only as good as his word.
Well, thanks for listening to this short chat on integrity and building trust, and hopefully give you a little insight what it's like here out on the farm, and you can apply these lessons to your job. So I'll see you in the next short chat. Thanks for listening.